Ohtani is deferring 68 of the 70 million per year. 68 million per year will be paid out from 2034 to 2043. Wow, still trying to wrap my head around this. We're discussing it in the break. I still have no idea. Britt, what is your reaction to this huge deal?
That it's technically legal, but there's no way it's going to be legal for much longer. Because as we were saying off air, why doesn't every team do this, right? Well, a few things have to happen. One, Ohtani has to agree to only make $2 million a year. A lot of players wouldn't agree to that. But also, guys, you look at how smart the Dodgers were able to play this, and you know that so many other teams are now going to complain that the Dodgers did this. It's going to be something that's going to come up in the next CBA. I would be shocked if the league doesn't get formal complaints like tonight. And I just think that it's something that they're going to have to change, because you could have a payroll now of $30 million and defer $300 million of it until God knows when, and it's no longer your problem. It's genius, it's brilliant, and I want to know why the Mets didn't do it.
Yeah, it's an absolute no-brainer from the Dodgers' perspective, because as we were talking again during the break, I mean, the CBA could be totally different by the time this deferred money is owed. The Dodgers could be owned by different people by the time this deferred money is owed, so there's really very little downside. They're going to make all this money back that they're actually paying Ohtani and then some, just through the marketing benefits of having him. So I was not surprised on Saturday when Shohei Ohtani signed with the Dodgers. Obviously, I wasn't even that surprised by the monstrous number that we saw, $700 million, because we knew that some of the money was deferred, but $680 million, I never in a million years saw that coming.
No, when I saw this, I basically almost fell out of my chair. My 3-month-old daughter, I got her up. We went to the cage, started hitting because, listen, Charlotte, this is what I need you to bring home, okay? I'm not paying for college. But Steve Cohen and the Mets, they've been punished, really, with how much they have spent. There's a Steve Cohen tax with how much they have spent. They've lost draft status from the 6th pick down to the 16th pick overall because they've spent so much. I think Steve Cohen's going, why didn't I think of this, to be honest with you? Because the Mets have been punished because they've spent too much. This is, I wouldn't call it a loophole. This is just a great way to use the system.
It's not right. Honestly, it bothers me because King Cohen comes in, he's spending more money than anybody else, and he's getting taxed. They put in a new tax line for him purposely, and now the Dodgers avoid this. It's not right, and baseball better do something about it. Now, Jeff Passan reporting that it was Ohtani's idea. He went to the Dodgers with this. Still, it shouldn't be right to defer it another 10 years until, like, what are you kidding me? It just doesn't make any sense how this is even possible. All right, Tony, from the Mets' perspective, I have a feeling the Mets would have been involved before we knew about the deferrals. Why do you think the Mets weren't involved ultimately with Ohtani?
Yeah, definitely this deferral situation does change the calculus for sure. I do think there were two reasons why the Mets weren't involved here. One was the lifestyle factor. As much as we heard all that smoke about Ohtani maybe going to Toronto, we don't have any real hard evidence that he was ever looking at anything beyond the West Coast, or really even anything beyond Southern California, where he's obviously played his whole major league career to date. So I'm not sure there was a ton of interest from Ohtani's end of even coming here. From the Mets' perspective, it was a roster fit, right? They need a ton of pitching, and if you go out and spend $700 million on Shohei Ohtani, you still, well, in a lot of ways, don't have a good team because you don't have the rotation that you're going to need to take this to October. So for a Mets team that was looking beyond just 2024, it wasn't the best fit, especially with Yamamoto out there. But I agree with you, Sal. Yeah. Knowing now what the economics look like, what these figures look like, I'm sure the Kansas City Royals and the Minnesota Twins and whoever else are out there saying, geez, I wish we had done this too.